That's where it came from. Hey, everyone. How's it going? Just don't mind me playing with dolls. I never got around to it, obviously, but here it is. Oh, that'll probably help. Probably help the volume of the music and the volume for me as well. Wow, 4 people. Better than I thought. I thought I'd get like 2, considering there was like, what, a 2-minute warning before I actually did this. And it's Sunday, and people have other things to do on Sunday mornings. I can see this kind of a thing being a thing on Saturday mornings. That's Saturdays. You haven't recovered from work yet. So you're like, I don't want to be responsible. But Sundays like sports days and all kinds of things like that. For me, it's posing days. YouTube didn't send a notification. That's interesting, Brandy. Okay, let's see if this is working, by the way. Boom. There. Bring up OBS. Yes! Wow. It's really strange, the positioning of this. I'm just going to see if I can fix that while we're alive. Maybe not be able to do that, but... oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, cool. And then just flow that in. Look at that. Wow, the magic of OBS in the hands of somebody who's actually learning how to become competent with it. Wow. Okay, so who are the 4 people who are here with us today? Let's see. We've got oh, Dog Bear from yes. We got our boy from Scotland in the house. That's really exciting. Aaron S is here. Hello, hello. That's awesome. Keith Lee, of course, is asking how my head is. It's so much better. In fact, when I get a headache, when I get a headache like that, typically the next day, I mean, it levels me for the entire day. And when I wake up the next day, I feel like $1,000,000, and that's exactly what's happening to me today. So I can tell already it's gonna be a productive day. I'm gonna get a lot done, up to and including posing this transport trooper for my shelf. Still haven't decided where he's gonna go. There's a cool spot down there, an empty spot down there between a Salt Tank Commander and a Jedi Patrol. Jedi Patrol? I think it's Jedi Patrol Stormtrooper. But there's also a shelf over my TV of nothing but figures from The Mandalorian. And I'm actually thinking that he's going to go up there next to, like, Moff Gideon and the like. But, yeah, here's my cursory museum pose. Ooh. I didn't do the torso twist. To quote... what's his name? Oh, the shame. There we go. There's my transport trooper. Yeah. At least one person who's regularly in these chats, Laura Keeles, and has actually said that she bought this and then sent it back because she didn't like it. I'm gonna lower him. There we go. I feel like I'm a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And I'm baffled by that, but you know, I get it. I guess you know, can't please everybody. That's true. Anyway, getting back to who's here. Okay, yeah, just got a belated live one. So the notifications are working, they're just working belatedly. That's fine. Yeah, insane one. I did. It's not, the camera is not new in and of itself. It is, however, new to being used in here. Yeah, it's the camera that I've been using for my videos for 2 years now, I think. It's a Nikon Z6. And I love it, love it so much. I also have a Z50 that I thought about using for this, but I just like the glass with the FX formatted cameras, and it does. I agree. It does look really, really good. The downside is that there's some kind of a glitch with Skype. So if anybody's heard about this, let me know if there's a fix for it. And because I just have to, every time that we do an Unsealed show on Tuesdays, we use Skype as our streaming software. And every time I do it now that I've had this camera, which has been like twice, I've had to just go in and randomly unplug things and plug them back in and reset and do this and do that until this image stops being pixelated, because it gets really, really, really pixelated. Like, you can see these weird textures going on in my hair, and it only happens in the areas that are in focus. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, whatever. But yeah, thank you. I'm really glad that I finally got off my ass and figured out how to do this. Definitely needed to be done. Keith Lee says he got a notification, so apparently the problem is Brandy Woods. Hey, Brandy Woods. Oh, here it goes. There we go. Oh, you're gonna bust out the French, huh? All right, that's fine. That's fine. Non merde. Yeah. Okay. Two can play that game. So yeah, dudes. I just want to make sure I've got everybody chatting here. Aaron S. Yeah, we got Aaron S. Cool. Yeah. All right. All right. So without further ado, did you guys follow the coverage from D23? Because I did what I said I was going to do. I didn't follow it. So I was inundated with it last night, and my head literally exploded. In fact, I think that's why my hair is so freaked out, like thick right now, because it's just my head has just exploded and filled it with the nutrients that are in my brain. Kumar, hello, sir. Just to say thank you, Terry. I learned a lot of figure posing through your videos. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That's exactly why we started doing it. So it's good to know that it's affected. Every time somebody tells me that it's helped them, and that happened a number of times at SDCC, just people coming up to me and saying that, and it felt really, really good. I wasn't expecting it. So every time I get that, I'm like really, really, really pleased. So let's go and pop that up there so y'all can see what he had to say. So yeah, and welcome to the chat. We also have Marty73 says hi, Terry. Hi, Marty. Yeah, do we know each other personally? I don't know obviously it's difficult for me to associate names of people that I know with net handles on YouTube. So so if I do know you, feel free to identify yourself. My friend Kevin, who's one of my best friends in the world, popped into the chat last week, and I had no idea it was him. He had a funky ass screen name using like a 7 and some other like Greek letter, just to make it look like it was Arabesh. Really clever, actually. Oh, Brandy, you're a riot. Let's see, what do we got here? Wasn't as overwhelmed as I was hoping. I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm sorry we didn't share that experience because man, I was I wish I'd actually made notes. So y'all are gonna have to just like drop things. But Keith Lee said it. I think Keith Lee says it best. Thunderbolts! Yeah, yeah. We all knew it was coming. Yeah, thanks to oh god, Val. Yeah, Val. Thanks to Val showing up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and in Black Widow. So we knew something like that was coming along. I got to be honest, I was kind of hoping for a Dark Avengers scenario, because I think that was one of the most brilliant things to come out of Marvel in the past 20 years, if not ever. The whole Norman Osborn takes over. Of course, we don't have Norman Osborn, so what? Or do we? We kind of do. Yeah, we kind of have Norman Osborn. Wouldn't that be something if they brought him back in to the Marvel Universe and had him save the day in Secret Invasion? But that's speculation, and well. Yeah, or just, I guess, not really speculation as it is, not so much speculation as it is hopes and dreams. But damn, wouldn't that be cool? Pierre agrees that the trailers released during D23 were amazing. Can I just say, Babu motherfucking Frick. I guess so. It's my live stream and I just said it. Babu Frick. Did you guys see Babu Frick? I'm so excited. Yeah. What's the name of that actress who does his voice? She also played Moaning Myrtle in the Harry Potter series. So I can't remember her name because I'm me and I don't remember names. But yeah, Thunderbolts is going to be really, really badass. I'm glad to see that we're going to get more Winter Soldier, because that's a character that I dearly love. It's very cool that we're going to get to see U.S. Agent come back, because quite frankly, is it Dwight? Is his name Dwight? Dwight Russell? Dwayne Russell? Something with a D. It's yeah. I'm really, really excited to see him back, because God, if he is not the spitting image of his father, incredible to watch him perform. Short of, the Marvel Universe came along too late to give us like a real Kurt Russell action hero character. I'm just really excited that we got him to play. I think I just spit on my camera lens from a distance. Wow, that's impressive. I'm really excited that we got Kurt Russell to play Ego. That was fantastic just to see him on screen. But to see, yes, thank you, Wyatt. It wasn't a D, it's Wyatt. Wyatt Russell. I'm just really glad that we got to see him. Did you know that he used to be a professional hockey player? That's a fun bit of trivia for you. Anyway. Keith Lee says, I wish they'd broadcast the announcements. Yeah, but I get why they don't. They want something to be special for the people that actually show up. And as somebody who used to go to SDCC every year and sit in line for Hall H, it was kind of nice to have something like that. Lane Kramer, Terry with wet hair again. No, my hair is not wet today. This is like totally dry and totally just like, ugh. Yeah, it's not quite bedhead. I did run a brush through it, and I actually threw some sea salt spray into it for y'all. So this is as styled as my hair gets these days, seriously. Apart from pulling it back and making myself look as close as I can to a Jedi Knight, whatever. Oh wow. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Anthony with a figure posing channel is here. He'll be dipping in and out of house chores. Yeah. Congratulations on your ability to maintain your house chores, dude. I've been really bad about that lately. So yeah. Don't want some AirPods? Oh, there you go. There you go, Anthony. AirPod away. You can always listen to it. You just can't always chat. Commander Green is here. Commander Green and Keith Lee simultaneously letting us know that it was indeed Wyatt. Do you think Taskmaster will be the same lady as before, or this time maybe the male character from the Marvel comics? I can't see any reason why they would want to throw a male character into it when they've already established that this particular Taskmaster is female. And plus, I think that there's a certain amount of loyalty that they're going to show to the talent. Since we already got a fine actor playing the part of Taskmaster for the Black Widow movie, I don't see any reason to recast that. She did a fine job, and it would be kind of interesting to see maybe some sort of a redemption arc from her now that she's been freed from the thrall of her father, that son of a bitch. So yeah, but that's just a guess. Again, this is all speculation. But you never know. I think that that's a sound idea because this is Marvel Comics, and they're constantly casting, recasting, and doing that kind of thing, and it would be an interesting surprise. Oh, there we go. Again with the French. By the way, is the music too loud? Let me know. It always feels like it's too loud. Like if I was in a room talking to people and the music was at this volume, I'd want to turn it down a notch or two. But this is kind of a directional microphone. Coke and Ice. I don't believe I've seen you in the chats before, my friend. How are you? Welcome, if not. As of now, in regard to Hot Toys, do you prefer Marvel, DC, or Star Wars? Yes. I love to look at all three. I think that they're all fantastic, but space here is at a premium, so I'm forced to be selective. As Star Wars has been a part of my life longer than Marvel or DC, I find myself gravitating more towards Star Wars. Primarily, I'm focusing on TV show stuff now. I think I've got enough of the original series stuff that I don't really need to add anything else to that. In fact, I don't have much original series stuff. It's mainly Troopers and whatnot. So yeah, hope that answered your question. It's not really so much a preference as my preference would be to have everything, all of it. Yeah. Every time something comes out. That's one of the exciting things about my job is that at the very least, a lot of these things, even if I can't own them, I get to play with them. So I get my fix one way or the other. The trailers were awesome, but I expect them to fill out with the rest of Phase 6 with some movie series announcements. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Aaron, that might spoil some stuff from the upcoming projects. But also, I think the ideas may not be fully formed yet, so they don't want to get locked into something that may not materialize for one reason or another. I mean, not to get too grim, but case in point, Carrie Fisher. I don't know. That's some of these actors playing these roles are getting a little on the older side. Sam Jackson, for instance, he's not going to be around forever. What am I saying? He's Sam Jackson. He's going to live forever. They are going to put him on the moon. He is going to be that guy. He's going to be Nick Fury on the moon, keeping watch over Earth from a base on the moon in the blue area of the moon. That's going to be his actual real life role as he transitions from the actor who plays Nick Fury to an actual Nick Fury. I'm ready for that. Let's see. Oh, that's just a conversation between you guys. That's fair. I'll let that stay between you. Okay. Aaron S says they confirmed that Taskmaster is played by the same actor. That's great. Like I said, she had a look about her, man, that even when she was the opposition, so to speak. She had this ferocious look about her that that really really made me feel for her. At the same time, made her kind of scary. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear she's back. Yeah, Len Kramer agrees. I would prefer they have the girl from the Black Widow movie. Yes, same. That's really going to be interesting to see how that evolves, because we've got quite a bit of Russian representation, so to speak, in the Thunderbolts between Red Guardian, Yelena Belova, the White Widow, whatever you want to call her, and even insofar as the Winter Soldier is concerned. That'll be interesting seeing those interactions. Am I missing anyone? I think that those three are really the three Russian, Soviet era Russian contingent. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. Mike Games is here. Good morning, Mike Games. Dobbs says music is all good. All right, cool. I dig this playlist, man. If you guys aren't into haven't listened to Epidemic Sound, if you are content creators at all and you're looking for music, check out Epidemic Sound, because they've got some sweet music. They're a Swedish company, and they're really selective about who they let in. I've got a couple friends who are electronic music creators, and they've tried to get their stuff on there, and they were rejected. And they don't suck. They're actually really good. Yeah. Oh, Hugo Ramirez says, "Yo, Terry, show off the shirt." Sea Shepherd Direct Action Crew, defend, conserve, protect. That's right. I am a regular contributor to the to Sea Shepherd financially, and at one time even physically, helping with beach cleanups and whatnot when I lived in California. So, let's see. Your voice is deep enough to cover the volume. Thanks, Brandy. Thanks. Yes, it is delicious, man. I actually thought that I brought. Hang on, I brought the bag in. There we go. Can you guys get the layout of my house? Like, the kitchen's right there, living room's right there, bedroom's back there, studio's over there. Yeah, this is a Trader Joe's special. They do some curated coffees every so often, and this one is Nicaraguan and El Salvador. A medium roast and a light roast. Wow, I'm going to be really wired. Light roasts are pretty high in caffeine, so yeah, that's awesome. I was going to throw that over my shoulder, but then I had this image of it spilling all over the ground, and like the dogs eating it and getting all wired, and we're just a bunch of wired dogs and doggy daddies, and yeah. Oh, this sounds good. Way back when the Black Widow trailer started rolling out, I was thinking that we were getting the famous Budapest story, and the Taskmaster would have been Clint. That would have been cool. Yeah. Yeah, that could have been fun. But then Clint... Oh, yeah, because that's... Yeah, because that was... I forgot that was a period piece, basically. I mean, not that much of a period piece, only by a matter of a few years, but yeah. Yeah, that could have been fun. But, I don't know. Can you actually see it, like, devolving to this ongoing joke? Oh, what character is Clint going to play next? Because he already did Ronin. And then all of a sudden he's Taskmaster. But, yeah. And I'm kind of torn in regards to the Budapest story, because I kind of like the mythology of it. How there's just this reference of what happened in Budapest. And we got a little bit of background. They fleshed it out a little bit in the Black Widow film. Just showed you some of the aftermath, so to speak. You got an idea of them being holed up in that safe house and whatnot. So that was cool. But I don't know. I would not condemn them for giving us an actual Budapest, like a short, starring Natasha and Clint, and just a short film, just talking about that. But speaking of shorts, Tales of the Jedi, huh? How cool is that? Did you see that thing with Ahsoka where Anakin is, where she's battling the clones like in an exercise, and she keeps getting shot down, and Anakin's like, again. That just blew my mind, because what we just saw is Anakin teaching her everything she needed to know to survive her encounter with the clones during Order 66. Seriously, I'm just like, the dichotomy of what actually happened there. That the future Darth Vader gave her all the knowledge that she needed to survive that encounter. so that they could have their encounter further on down the line at the Sith temple. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. It's just going to be so freaking amazing. Mike Games agrees, right there with me. Tales of the Jedi looks awesome. That's basically what I just said. Only I used way more words and probably unnecessarily. Pierre agrees. Wow. Oh, Daryl Smith. I wonder if they will use the Taskmaster actress more than they use a male stunt double. Well, I don't know. Hard to say. I mean, how often do we actually see what's his name in the Mandalorian suit as opposed to what's his other name? Why do I have such a hard time with names? I need to have like a dry erase board up here on the wall behind the camera with like all the names of every actor and actress that I might have cause to mention, and that would probably help me. I don't know, maybe not, but anyway. Coconut's playing some casual Battlefront 2. Dude, I could never get into that game because I'm really, really bad at it. Really bad. Like, you wouldn't believe how bad I am at it. Like, I'm that guy who spawns, runs towards the battlefield, and dies before he even gets to the battlefield. I'm cannon fodder. That's the easiest way to put it. I'm really, really bad at it. For those who don't know, my coffee mug is made by the actor who plays Judo Master on Peacemaker. He has an Instagram shop called 3 Circle Pottery, and he makes amazing stuff. So if you're looking for coffee mugs, bowls, pots for your plants, any of that, he makes that stuff, and he's really, really, really talented. They don't all look like this. There's a very wide range of stuff that he does. I have 2 of his things, actually 3, but there's a company that makes Stormtrooper coffee. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That would be awesome. Oh, yeah, Keith, you're right. Clint was Captain America for a bit in the comic books. Wow. Yeah, see, he's just worn all kinds of hats. He was also Goliath for a little while. So, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Oh, you Canadians and your French. I'm so glad to watch that happen. Okay. Yes, Mike Games saw that whole thing. Oh, man, am I really falling behind on the comments here? I guess not too bad. Yeah, I just, as soon as I saw that happen, I went back. I watched that part again and again and again. Again. Can you tell that I'm delighted by it? I mean, I haven't been this excited, I think, since that damned light cycle video that I did. Look, I said cycle right. That's exciting. Must be the coffee. Maybe this coffee is pretty potent. I don't know. Yeah, that scene with Ahsoka gave me chills too, dude. And you can tell that it's just gonna... They're gonna evolve that story quite a bit. She appears in like... And so, there's just so much going on with this show. I just can't wait to see it. And I can't believe that it's like happening right now. Like, I knew nothing about this that I can remember. I mean, if somebody told me about this ages ago, completely forgot about it. And now here it is. It's going to be here in October. So close. So close. God. Oh, God, where are we at? Christina Payne's in the house. Hello, Christina Payne. Haven't seen you in a while, have I? It's great to hear your digital voice, so to speak. Which Taskmaster does everyone prefer? The original Antothony Masters? Or, oh my gosh, my screen's getting cut off over here. I have to keep switching over to this other one. Or Antonia Dreykov. I have no opinion on that. I really don't. Oh, Lane Kramer. Finally, huh? Lane Kramer got his Arena Boba Fett and his Dark Trooper. So he's going to get some gloves out. Yeah, definitely. Anthony from Six Scale Posers just published his 20 poses with the Arena Fett. It's a good video. I can't believe he shoots that all on his phone. Shoots and edits it all on his iPhone. So he's really, really lo-fi, but pulls it off nicely, impressively. It's got a nice, sweet white background, very clean look, and he lights it in such a way that it really makes all the glossy elements on the armor and on the weapons pop. So yeah, check that out. I myself will not be doing a video on it because I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. To be continued. I'll let that discussion continue without going up on the comments. Anybody? Oh, Tommy D's in the house. Hey, Tommy. Yeah, sorry for the 2-minute warning on the live stream, dude, but I just had to do this given everything that's going on. Yeah, this is fair. Kumar says, I watched every Marvel movie till Endgame. For some reason, the love of Marvel died with Tony Stark. Couldn't complete any seasons so far. I get it. I get it. And I talked about this actually a little bit yesterday, and I really feel like, much like Marvel Comics has a tendency to shift gears from time to time, and the type of content, the quality of content remains really high, but the style kind of morphs. Even the artistic styles kind of tend to morph. Like I notice a distinct difference in the art today as opposed to art, say, even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, or definitely from the 90s. I mean, it just evolves and changes, and the stories are more timely or topical. And once your phase is over and then the change begins, maybe you will not be able to connect with it nearly as much as you did the previous one, and that's fine, because that phases 1 through 2, 3 will always exist, and we can always go back and rewatch those and experience that stuff time and time again. I mean, I never get tired of watching, especially the last 45 minutes of Endgame. I can do that over and over, probably till the day I die. So I get it. Let's see. Huh. So, sort of work related. As for those of you who are new here, I'm not here to talk about work. I make it a point not to talk about my job at Sideshow. I don't have. If you have any questions regarding like inside knowledge, I don't have any of that. I find out most things at the same time you guys do. So I don't answer questions about my job at Sideshow. And there are other things that are kind of off topic, that are kind of forbidden topics, I should say. Not really off topic, but kind of forbidden. I don't want to talk about customs, for instance. Yeah, that's not on the table for discussion. But having said that, so sort of work. I think this is fair conversation right here. Sort of work related for you video wise. What was the hardest figure you had to get a vid ready to go, whether due to figure, time constraints, etc.? This answer will always be the same. It will always be First Order Stormtroopers. Now that requires some follow up. Because I wasn't prepared for the First Order Stormtroopers. Up until that point, every figure that I had ever done with Hot Toys, Sideshow, whatever, had been remarkably easy to pose. I'd been spoiled, relatively challenge-free. So when I got my hands on those First Order Stormtroopers, and they were among the first 6-scale figures that Hot Toys produced with armor like that, things weren't working. It was difficult to keep the hands on. It was difficult to keep the feet on. Things kept falling apart. There is, in fact, a lengthy video somewhere in the drives at Sideshow. There is a 4-minute long video of nothing but all the curse words that I uttered while shooting that video. It's like a 4-minute outtake video of me, fuck, shit, yeah, man, just really being angry at the figures. That being said, if you go back into years later, if you go into my YouTube channel, you'll find a subsequent video. I think it's something like Hot Toys First Order Stormtrooper, Can It Be Posed? In which I totally negate all that. Over time, I got better at the craft, and I learned that you have to be patient with this kind of thing, and actually just find a way to work within the constraints of the figure. Because I wasn't used to armor collisions and whatnot like that. With the way that Hot Toys does things is different from the way that Sideshow does things, for instance. Sideshow's armor bits fit a lot more loosely on the figures, so you have a little bit more forgiveness when you're going for a deep arm bend or something like that without having to worry about the armor pushing up the hand off of the figure. So that's always going to be my answer. But by the same token, I'm going to say that a lot of that issue that I had was myself. I wasn't being patient, and I wasn't doing my job properly. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is another interesting comment by Lane Kramer. I feel for MCU Phase 4, it's them trying to experiment with different platforms to see what might stick. I wouldn't be so unkind as to say that they're just throwing things at the wall. I think they've got a better plan than that. But what I wanted to talk about was this the whole notion where the original Infinity Saga were a more traditional comic style story. Yeah, I think that phases 1 through 3 stuck to the ambiance, the vibe of all those comics from that era from which they drew their storylines. The stuff by Brubaker, the stuff by Bendis, the stuff by Mark Miller when they drew elements of the Ultimates and the Ultimate Avengers and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that they stuck with that. For me, that is actually my golden age of Marvel Comics. That whole decade there from 2010 to 2020. Yeah, 2010 to 2020. No, sorry, 2000 to 2010. That's right. And I started to drift away probably at about 2010 to the point that like here I was 2020 or 2021. I think I finally gave up collecting floppy copies entirely, and I just pick up the occasional graphic novel when I want to read a story that everybody's raving about. So yeah, right now, I don't know that the issue is them. I think the issue is us. I think that it's because we don't really have a connection with it, with the new source material that they're putting out there. And again, I will defend She-Hulk to the day I die. I'll defend Ms. Marvel to the day I die. Hawkeye. I think they're all exceptional shows. The thing of it is if they didn't give us these breaths of fresh air that they're giving us in the form of these TV shows, then they would be accused by others of just doing the same thing again and again and again. And it's like you can't win for losing, sort of a thing. And I'm really glad that they're choosing to experiment and try new things. And I think that it's working. I think also that it's a long burn. Remember, the first one took more than 10 years to come to fruition, and we are only 2-3 years into phase 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, we've got a long road to go, and I think it's going to be amazing. Let's see. But yeah, I came here to talk about well, we got more Thunderbolt stuff. Seems like Thunderbolt is Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. Yes, that's exactly what it came from. I think even in the comics. What was Thunderbolts first? I think Thunderbolts was around in some incarnation before the Suicide Squad. I have downstairs the first 10 issues of the original Suicide Squad comic. They're not in the best of shape. So, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Oh, and is everyone else leaving? Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry, I missed you. Anyway. I really dig this playlist. I know I've said it a million times, but I really do. That and the coffee and just the day after headache effect is really. Oh, Dob Bear. Sorry. As far as I've heard, they are saying all new movies will be after the Skywalker saga and unrelated to it overall. Okay, I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm kind of into Secret Invasion too, dude. Well, I'm really into Secret Invasion. I agree with you, MC, is now you're going to find different stories, some that might appeal and some might not, just go one by one, exactly so. The fact is that I would really like it if they would start putting out some stuff that I don't like, because then I would have more free time. I spent a lot of time watching Marvel shit, and I could be getting so many other things done with that time. Yeah. The fact is that I really, really am digging almost just about everything that they're doing. I think the closest I came to not appreciating something was maybe the Black Widow movie. But again, I went back and watched it again, and I'm like, yeah, this is a welcome fill-in. This is something that needed to happen, a story that needed to be told. And I'm just sorry that it took so long for them to get it out. I feel like it lost a lot of its impact because of the COVID delays. Yeah, too bad. That could be fun. Hugo Ramirez says, I would like to see a series covering those years after Luke defeated the Empire. It wasn't just him, to be fair, but yeah, I take your point. I think we'll see bits and pieces of that. Because that does seem like an opportunity. Oh, okay. Lane Kramer coming with bring the knowledge. Cool. Thunderbolts came after Suicide Squad years later. It was first by Kurt Busiek. I'm going to make a transition here because this is really, wow, look at that magic. Thunderbolts came after Suicide Squad years later. It was first by Kurt Busiek. That's interesting. I love that guy's work. I love that guy's work a lot. Yeah. Yeah, Lane, as far as the Zemo thing goes, I had the same thought, and I'm like, there's got to be a surprise in store. There's got to be a surprise in store. They're keeping an ace in the hole here. They've got something going. They've got something in mind. Lane Kramer, goodbye. Enjoy your trip to the grocery store. Really, really cool that you were here. I really don't think we will ever see Mara Jade in Star Wars. I just don't. Yeah. In fact, part of me kind of hopes we don't. I don't know why. It's like, you know, we've seen Luke in his later years. We've seen him like right afterwards. So what happened to Mara? Where did Mara go after Luke went into exile? Where does Kim go? Kim Wexler go at the end of Breaking Bad? I'm just freaking out about that. By the way, I'm not Breaking Bad, but Better Call Saul. I'm watching Better Call Saul right now. I'm binging that when I have free time. That's what I did yesterday while I was nursing my headache. But oh, hey, Nick Papadopoulos is in the house. Thank you for bringing me back to topic, Nick. Much appreciated. Yeah, I was about to go off on a tangent there about Better Call Saul, but this is much better fodder right here. I like what we got. The Mando trailer. Yeah, we talked about that. Babu freaking frick. Secret Invasion. Werewolf by Night. Did we know that was coming? I hadn't heard anything about that, and then all of a sudden here we are with Werewolf by Night. Looks decidedly creepy. Again, completely different shift in tone from what we've come to expect in Marvel. I feel like they've taken the criticisms of others out there to heart, in which they say, yeah, everything feels formulaic, and they're like, yeah, okay, then take this, and it's going to be amazing. I think Werewolf by Night is going to be amazing. So much great stuff coming in the next month, both from Marvel and Disney with that whole Tales of the Jedi thing. Really, really digging the idea of that. How far are we into this? 30 minutes? That's cool. Suicide Squad debuted in The Brave and the Bold number 25. Holy crap! Really? Really? Okay. Shows what I know. Thank you, Thomas. That's, yeah. Bring in the knowledge. Yeah, I read all the books. Yeah, I'm familiar. But I feel like if I went back and read them now, it would feel a bit... My romantic notions have changed. I don't have the same romantic ideals that I had when I was in my 20s. I've got a different outlook on that kind of thing, and I feel like, much like I look on the whole the WB CW TV series that I walked away from because their notions of romance were overwrought and just too naive. I kind of feel like there was a lot of that. My memory of it is that there was a lot of that, even in the relationship between Luke and Mara. But maybe I'm not remembering it correctly. That's not the first time I could be accused of that. God, I hope so. I hope so, Dob. I really do. Yeah, because he is a great character. But they might want to keep him separate. They might want to keep him separate just so that so no events in the live action shows need to influence the course of the video games. And also, I think that stories shift so often during the development of video games that, yeah, they don't want to be locked in to anything. Like, okay, you make a creative decision insofar as the character's arc is concerned in the course of a video game. You take a snapshot of that, you port it over to the TV show, and they use that snapshot to base his involvement in a particular part of the saga in the live-action TV shows. But then they make a shift. Then they need to make a shift for one reason or another over here in this video game story. And because of that, because of what happened over here in the TV show, they're like, oh crap, we can't do that. They're already locked in. They've already shot this stuff, and we can't walk that back. So that creates the potential for some problems there. I could see why they'd be reluctant to do that. That being said, they've come so close to bringing Cal Kestis. They've hinted at it with BD1's appearance in Callie's shop, and also in here the Bad Batch. Yeah, because they made an appearance on that planet where they were salvaging all the Star Destroyers. So that would be something. Commander Green with a lengthy comment. Cool. Even though the show Andor is obviously about Cassian's journey, it's more about all the people involved in the rebellion. It's going to be a deep, rich story. I don't think that's your opinion, dude. I think that's actually you can count on that just based on the trailer. I think that they're making that. Andor's going to be, Cassian's going to be the focus of it, but I think we're going to get enough of. That song was freaking me out. So anything by ELFL is worth listening to. Yeah, it's a band called ELFL. I use a lot of their music in my videos. It's just uber chill. And they just released their first full-length album, or he released his first full-length album. Are they a group, or is that just one dude? Like, Terry can't remember her name. Go figure. Anyway, but getting back to Cassian, yeah, I think with all the characters that we're seeing here in the trailer, I think you're right. I think we're going to be getting so much cool stuff. What am I forgetting to talk about? I feel like there were so many things that were revealed, and yet I've only talked about like 4. Mandalorian trailer, Tales of the Jedi, Secret Invasion, FF. They dropped a title thing for FF. Brandy Woods knows the LFL. That's right. I also wish Iden Versio would be involved in some of the Mandalorian timeline. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna have to Google that later. Is that a video game thing? Is that a book thing? Oh, Christopher Colvin has joined us. Oh, Loki 2. Tommy D bringing it. Yeah, Loki 2. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. It'll be interesting to see how that fits in with all the Kang stuff. But between Loki and I'm worthless. Yeah, it's going to be great. But yeah, it's good to see Christopher Colvin here. How's R2, dude? Doing well? Bugger that. How's your battle droid coming? I didn't know you had a life-size IG-88. That's amazing. Dude, that looks so cool. I don't know how much I would sacrifice to have a life-size IG-88 just hanging out by my TV. That's amazing. Well done. That's really solid work. It looks like it walked right off the screen. Not that the original prop could walk, but still, man. Keith Leeds makes a solid point. Yeah, I wish that too. I would love to have seen a trailer for Armor Wars. That being said, I'm sure they'll give it. I'm sure that they're holding out for when they actually can. Oh yeah, I just happened to glance over and realize that I have another pose from the Mark 50, which I was supposed to show yesterday, but I got sidetracked and I didn't get it done. But and this is really just vanilla shit. But yeah, I just wanted to implement some of the accessories from the Mark 50 that I hadn't used before. So here we go. This is obviously the Mark 50 with that really slick booster on the back. So that'll be on display in my house like this for a week until I do another one. I'm really having a lot of fun with this accessory set. There's just so much going on. Oh look, I think that's one of my whiskers for my mustache. Yeah, but yeah, just looking at this armor and the colors and the paint on it, I'm just really happy with it. I mean, look at that. It looks ballistic. Absolutely looks ballistic. All right. Just in time for the Little Mermaid trailer. You know, we don't even have to keep talking about Marvel and DC, although that's definitely my wheelhouse. But there's some great stuff coming down. Mufasa, Lion King Mufasa. I'm not sure I haven't seen much. All I've seen is the title, but I'm not sure if they're going to go traditional animation, if it's going to be a sequel or a prequel to the live action version of the Lion King, or what's happening there. But dude, I'm going to bring Kleenexes when I go to that one, depending on what it is. Let's see here. Kumar, dude, you're not wrong. And I just feel like, I think that The Mandalorian has, as a show, as a part of the saga, has really hit that sweet spot and just really captured lightning in a bottle for Star Wars fans everywhere. And it's gonna be tough to top that. They've done some really strong stuff since. I think we're gonna see some great stuff with Tales of the Jedi, and there were bits of Book of Boba Fett that were just like choice. But and this is going to be interesting for us, because one thing I've noticed in fandom in general is that there's this tendency or this temptation that once you get an in-game, an Avengers in-game, that's a pinnacle, it's a peak, and that sets a new bar in people's expectations. They get that endorphin rush, they get that high and that excitement, all those emotions, that hodgepodge of emotions that you feel watching a movie like Endgame. And then what comes after has to, in our minds, has got to compare to that. That's what we want to achieve again with our movie going experience. And if that doesn't happen, so many people are just like, well, that sucked. But it didn't. It just wasn't Lawrence of Arabia. You know, it wasn't Dr. Zhivago. It wasn't it wasn't pick your favorite classic film or favorite amazing movie experience. And it wasn't Jaws. Not every film can be an in-game. It's on a sliding scale. It's not win or lose. It's not pass or fail. You know, it's just keep that in mind, everybody. Anybody who out there who doesn't look at things like that, just think about it from that perspective, maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, dude. Young Dooku. Yeah. Really, really exciting. Yeah, excited to see where that's going to go. It looks like we're going to see we're going to see what drove him away from the Jedi Order. And I think that's a story worth telling. Definitely. Let's see. What did you think of Alden Ehrenreich's portrayal of Han? And truth be told, I would love them to bring him back, even if it was only for a one-off show. I'm going to carefully consider that answer while I Google something. Let's see. God, my computer's really slow when I stream. Yeah, this is what I think. This is what I think. I think Alden Ehrenreich is a fine actor. I do think he was miscast as Han Solo. I would. There's a quality to Harrison Ford's face that is hard to imitate, because he's just kind of got this goofy face, this goofy nose, and his expressions are all over the place. But at the same time, they're very distinctive and hard to pull off. And I have seen somebody who can do that and do it really, really well, and that is Ty Sheridan. And I would love, just based on certain screen grabs from Ready Player One, the kid, he's a full-on man. The dude he's like Harrison Ford reborn in his physical appearance, and he's got some serious acting chops, and I think he really, really could have pulled it off. That being said, another young Harrison Ford, who's no longer with us, would have been River Phoenix, and that would have been a dream casting right there. But obviously, it's never going to happen, even if he hadn't died tragically. But yeah, that's. I hope that answers the question without being unkind. I think Alden is a great actor. I think they cast him because he was cool and fun to hang out with, which is, I think a lot of casting is done for that reason. I think in some cases, if somebody's even remotely difficult to work with, they'd pass that an amazing actor who's difficult to work with. They pass over him in favor of a next tier actor who is just easier to get along with. And I see the reason for that, because you're stuck working with them for a couple of years. You don't want to be around an asshole for 2 years if you can avoid it. Keith Lee's going to get some donuts. Bring them on over. Dude, we'll chat. We'll hang. Yeah, I'll make coffee. Cool. I haven't had donuts in years. It has been like 2 years, maybe 3 years since I've had donuts. Pre-COVID, definitely. What do you think of Hunter's upcoming Hot Toys? Having seen it at Comic-Con, I had my hands on it and played with it. I think it's amazing. It's as good as any other clone that they've done, if not better. It's all original. It's just stuff they've managed to make that transition from the animated character over to the live action, like doing a rendition of Tamora Morrison's face. It looks really good. It looks really good. It poses really good. There are armor collisions, but you can expect that with any clone armor. Yeah, it's really, really solid, really sexy figure. It's going to look great on everybody's shelf. Having said that, I might pass it over to get... Have you seen those ones from Kotobukiya? The 7th scale statues from Kotobukiya? They've got it. They've got the full set. More affordable and smaller. Take up a lot less shelf space. Like, there's no place in my display right now where I could fit all of the Bad Batch figures into like one display without knocking off an entire shelves with the figures in order to make it happen. So I'm thinking about going another route with that. I do hope to get my hands on some of them for video purposes and sometime in the future, whether it's how to be a poser or what have you. So we'll see. Tim Hortons Coffee. That must be a Canadian thing. I don't know it. Thanks, Doug. Yeah. Dude, Krispy Kreme is the bomb. That being said, there was a mom and pop shop owned by a Cambodian couple across the street from my house in Ventura, which is still my house in Ventura. That's right. She hasn't taken it from me yet. But yeah, I used to love going over there, man. They had amazing donuts. Pretty much standard fare, but something about the way they made them was just superior. Coke and Ice is throwing... Wow. You're the reason why I'm into Hot Toys. How to Be a Poser helped a lot. I'm sorry, and you're welcome. Yeah, I know how much of a burden Hot Toys collecting can be. It's a lovely burden that I treasure, and I'm sure that you do as well. But yeah, thanks for saying so, man. That's really kind. Mark 3 2.0 is a very good choice, Nick Papadopoulos. I love saying your name, dude. It just like rolls over the tongue, through the lips. It's just like everything. Papadopoulos. Yeah. That should be like, your name should be like a vocal warm-up for me. That's it. Just imagine when I'm shooting video, before I record audio, I'm just going to be like at the mic, Papadopoulos, 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 Papadopoulos. Yeah, that's just how I do it. I just set up a new sound booth in my closet in the studio, and it's fun. It's got all the funky padding on the walls and everything, and I've got a really sweet Sennheiser microphone set up in there with a... Yeah. Yeah, good to go. It's going to be... in fact, I'm going to be using it for the first time today. No, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, today is... yeah, today's How to Be a Poser stuff. I'm doing How to Be a Poser stuff today. That's exciting. It's really exciting because it's going to be an all-new thing. But I didn't come here to talk about work. Truly. Dude, you and me both. Kumar says he hopes to see more Ventress in the future Star Wars series. I've said this many times on this live stream, bro. I would really, I know that we got the conclusion of her arc in book form, but I would really love to see that transition into live action at some point. And I really, really want Jada Pinkett Smith to play Asajj Ventress, an older Asajj Ventress. Can't remember who I was talking to about it. Oh. Who was it? I think it was Rob Kocher. Yeah, I think it was Sideshow Rob, and I think it was also Joe Lombardo. We were having a discussion about that, and yeah, it's she looks amazing. If you take a screen capture of animated Asajj and put it next to like a 3/4 view, well, I guess a quarter turn is this, so like an 1/8 turn, like this with Jada Pinkett Smith's head. Seamless. You could almost overlay them and they would be perfectly matched to each other. It's really crazy how alien that woman's head looks. I mean that in the most complimentary way. It's just gorgeous. Some of the most gorgeous people that I've seen in my entire life, I could very well look at them and say, alien. Yeah. Mom and pop shops always have the best food. Agreed, number one. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I went to a chain, but it was probably with Scott Heinemeyer. If you're watching, Scott, stop dragging me to Fridays, bro. I just took Scott to a real burger joint in the Tower Grove South neighborhood where I used to live the other day, and my friend Kevin, who was on the show last week, took me there one day, and then like a day or two later, I took Scott there because the burgers there are just so good. Citywide Cafe or something like that. If you're still watching, Keith, I think you said you were leaving, but yeah, it's there was this like Western burger that had onion rings on it that I had the first night that I was there, and I was like, good God, this is the best burger I've ever had. Yeah, love a good cheeseburger, but I'm going off on tangents again. Coke and I splurged on Arena Fett, Deluxe Return of the Jedi Boba, Solo Maul, Rex, and Anakin Clone Wars. I have all but the latter of those. Yeah, I canceled my Anakin with Stab. Decided I already have a Stab here. Yeah, I may regret that later. But maybe not. I don't know. It's not like I had room for it. It's really big. Lovely though, especially if you can put it at the back of a display, because the stand is so big, it's so high up compared to like the Sideshow stand, which is only like that. But the Hot Toys version is a full 6 or 7 inches high before the stab even begins. So yeah, that's a really cool thing. AJ Agruso, welcome. Yeah, surprise. I was just so excited about everything that I saw last night that I decided I needed to do this. I told myself if I wake up early enough, I'll make it happen. If not, then, you know, no big deal. Because there was a fair degree of... Yeah, I drank some wine last night while watching Breaking Bad. Thanks, Nick. And thanks, Kogenice. I really appreciate the compliments on how to be a poser. It's been going for... 7 years now. 6 or 7 years. Yeah. They talk about how many episodes of we've hit like 180 or 185 episodes of Unsealed and Revealed. I wonder how many episodes we've done of How to Be a Poser. It wasn't it's never been weekly. At its strongest, I think it was only ever bi-weekly. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many we've done. Maybe I'll do a tally. Yeah, I always try to mix it up. It was purple yesterday. I didn't do any changes between yesterday and today. But yeah, I was tempted to go back there and just grab the light and bring it out and show it to you all. But it is by Godox. It's just a light wand by Godox that one side is just basically white that you can change the color temperature for, and the other side is LED color. You can shift it to any color in the rainbow that you can imagine, and just create various background lights. Sometimes I use it just like for when I'm shooting video of a product. You can set that product on a turntable and rotate it. And then and as it's rotating and as the camera's as it's moving with the camera, then you can pass that wand over it and you create like this illusion that it's in motion. It's really cool and really fun. Careful, Will might come and find you. Oh, did I say something bad about somebody who would be named Will? What, Will Riker? I don't know. Who's Will? I don't know who Will is. Help me out with that. Oh, Keith is still here. Waiting to get the donuts. Oh, you're watching this? What, you got your earpods in? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Hey, Lewis Libitz is here too. Hello, dude. Yeah, we're just talking about stuff. It was supposed to be just talking about everything D23 related, but it's actually degenerated as always into a Q&A session. And, you know, me showing off various, figures and whatnot. God, I would love to get around to opening that Arena Fett today, but yeah, apparently that's not going to happen. Got too much work to do. Yeah. Yeah, it's not... Yeah, Wade, it's going to be really cool when they finally drop that. I think that it's not the question of them taking their time. I think that they've prioritized other figures over that, and they're just waiting for a window. There's only so many factories and only so many people working in those factories, so they have to kind of take priority. And it's, you know, who would know more about this than I do is Nanjing Tam. I mean, he talks. If you follow Nanjing Tam on any of his social media accounts, he very frequently talks about the decisions that go into deciding which figure is going to be made first. Because in the mind of the collector, of course, to those of us who are not experienced in production and development, then it would seem logical to us, if you're going to start doing Star Trek, as he's doing, that you should just do the entire crew of the Enterprise D, right? And then do the entire crew of the Voyager, and just do them all in chronological order. But that's not always how it works. The way it sounds from his discussion, there are design, and not really design, but production difficulties that will reveal themselves. And you have to take into account the amount of time that it's going to take to solve those problems. And yeah, there's a lot that goes into making those decisions, and it's not just like, I don't feel like doing Clone Wars Obi-Wan today. No, that's not it. But I get you. I get you. It would be really cool to see those two together on my shelf too. But apparently I'm not getting Anakin, so maybe it's not that. Maybe that's not that crucial. Kumar, did you have any knowledge on anatomy to enable you to pose this well? Thank you. Or just detailed observation. Curious how you see the finer things. The first time I was asked that question, I had no idea how to answer it. But I think that it's a couple of different things. I can see if I can see it from here. BRB. Uh-oh. Piper's on the move. You okay? Got a sick dog. I'm not going to worry about whether she's going to pee or poop in the house. Okay? Okay. I was looking for my copy of How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. I've often said that my inspiration for posing, how I pose things, comes from all the years I've spent reading comic books. And just kind of passively studying comic book art in that way. I never made it a formal pursuit to study comic book art, but things just kind of were absorbed. Actually, that's kind of a lie. I didn't make it a formal pursuit to study comic book art. Piper's gonna throw up. It's okay, girl. It's okay. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, good. A little bit of dry heaves, my poor sick dog. Anyway, so well, we were talking about posing. Yeah, I think most of it is down to, yeah, again, as I said, just absorbing comic book art. Just reading comic books and just absorbing the different styles of, especially like the artists from the '90s, the classics like, you know, Jim Lee, Silvestri, you know, all those, Turner, you name it. But also from the little bit of time that I spent just, I'm going to teach myself how to draw. And I bought How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and I just kind of like devoured it. Just kind of basically copied everything that was in there and tried to absorb all the techniques that they tried to teach you in that book. So yeah, pick that up, man. I mean, that's where I got things. That's the idea of the torso twist. You know, that came from reading How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. So, yeah, I don't think anything else. I mean, obviously there's it was like this perfect storm of posing figures for photography. So composition came into it as well, because things look differently through the camera than they do when you have, you know, stereoscopic vision. And also when you're like walking around a figure, then you want to pose it differently because you want it to look good from all the different angles. Whereas when you're shooting it, it only has to look good from one angle. Although, when I'm looking at photographs of figures, I can tell if it's been cheated with photography. And but I'll never make a comment about that. Because you just do what you have to do when you want to get that photo. Lewis Libbets, yeah, dude, we've talked about Werewolf by Night before you got here too, but I can't talk about it enough. I'm blown away with what it looks like they're going to be doing with this. It's definitely a departure. I think it's really harkening towards those classic horror comics from back in the pre-code days. We're really looking forward to seeing what they do with that. There are a couple of Facebook pages that are dedicated to pre-code comic book art. So do a search for those because there's some really cool stuff there. Yeah, Arena Fett is insane. Oh, you've got him. Yeah, cool. So you get it. I mean, you can't... I mentioned earlier that Anthony from a 6-Scale Posing channel, from Figure Posing channel and 6-Scale Posers on Facebook, just published last night his video on 20 different poses with that figure, and he lit it right because he had it in a white box, and with surrounded by all that white, that's how you really make that shininess pop, because it's highly reflective. Yeah, and you really just want to have nothing but white bouncing off of that, or lighter colors, like very little color if you want to add anything at all. But yeah, that's it's a great figure. It's I fell in love with it at Comic-Con. I didn't expect it to. I was like, oh, a black Boba Fett? I've got enough Boba Fetts. Maybe it's time for me to break the cycle. But no, as soon as I saw it, I knew. Yeah, in fact, I'm more excited about Arena Fett than I am about Chrome Clone Trooper or even Death Trooper, which is equally gorgeous, except just warmer in tone. Da Bear's asking how the pooch is. She's making her way in there. I think she's thinking about eating. She was outside grazing earlier, which is a sign that dogs have a stomach condition and that she's trying to overcome it. But yeah. AJ Agrusa says, I love listening to Nanjing talk about X06 figures. I'm pumped more. Yeah, dude, I love what they're doing. I love his enthusiasm. I love his excitement for both the hobby as well as for the craft of creating six skill. Remember, he started from like nothing. I mean, he had the he was obviously well funded, and he had a passion for it. And he's really, really, I mean, I don't know if you've ever met the man and had a conversation with him, but he's one of the smartest men that I know. And it really comes across, yeah, in his work. He's got a passion for it. He's got the knowledge. He's got the intelligence to be able to learn things like this on the fly. And he's also creative-minded enough to find different ways to think outside the box and to come up with his own means of making things happen. Oh, Kevin's here. Let's see. Just gonna tell him that I'm live streaming. Boom. He's probably wanting to go get a cheeseburger or something. That would be awesome. I love cheeseburgers. Okay. Oh! Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Yeah, that's okay. I get it now, Dob. Oh, when I say somebody has a head that's alien, I mean that in the kindest of ways. I mean, often elves in fantasy and high fantasy are described as having like an alien proportions, and but they're no less beautiful because of it, and that's really what I mean. That there's just something that's otherworldly about it, about that level of beauty, and she's got it. I mean, I've always thought so. She's legitimately one of the most beautiful women on earth. Right up there with Zoe Saldana. Oh, hey! Hello, Mr. Wellington. It's good to have you here. Awesome. Anyway, back to W. As Terry says, it's very much inspiration from seeing your heroes and poses you find awesome and inspiring. Yeah. Yeah, just find things that you like and find ways to imitate it. Yeah, just keep playing it. Gina B Collecting has finally joined us. Glad to see you here as always. Yeah. This was a surprise, and it's actually run a little bit longer than I intended. Yeah. Brandy is feeling for my pup. Nausea does suck. It sucks so much. You referring to me, sir? Hello, Batman. Good to see you in the Batcave. Yeah. Batcave, man cave. Someone say cheeseburgers. Yeah, I pretty much always say cheeseburgers. I think I always go through phases with my food. I'll latch onto something that I really like, and then I'll just devour it constantly. Hey, Kevin's here. Hey, Kevin. I was just mentioning that you might be trying to get me to go for cheeseburgers later or something, but yeah. I've never been to Five Guys. Never been to Five Guys in my life. One of the guys at Sideshow offered to take me there like 10 years ago, and then it never transpired. And I don't know. There's a franchise out there in California called The Habit. Amazing cheeseburgers. I miss The Habit so very, very much. In fact, I think most of the time I would rather go to The Habit than go to In-N-Out when I was out there. If only because the wait times were a lot less, but also because the quality. It's a much different type of burger than the In-N-Out burgers, but still. X06 Con should be good once they finally get it done. I'm glad that they're taking their time. I think it needed more time in development, and I think they knew that too. So I'm sure that when it finally shows up, it's going to be excellent. I don't know. I don't have any insight on that. Yeah, that's and there. I'm sure there was a reason for the Arena Fett being such a low edition size. Maybe I've always thought that it would benefit companies in the long run to occasionally produce ridiculously limited numbers of a particular figure in order to create demand and FOMO. But I don't think that anybody's actually doing that. I don't think anybody's actually following that course. I think that they set a number for Arena Fett, and it sold out. Is it back on waitlist? Is it what's the deal with that? I don't even know. I've got mine, so I don't care. Terry, if you were to appear on a show, which one would you like to be invited to? Star Wars or any of the Marvel ones? Yeah. House of the Dragon. I would shave for House of the Dragon. I totally would, because it seems like not many of the Targaryens have beards. But maybe I'm wrong. We might yet get to meet a bearded Targaryen. Who knows? But as far as Star Wars go, I would love to be in the new one. Skeleton Crew, that is, I believe, currently filming. So that seems unlikely. But pretty much any of the Star Wars ones, I think I would love to play like a bad guy. Just let me keep my hair, and if not, then put me in full makeup. It's like if you were going to be in a Star Wars show. Let me just put this out there for everybody to answer this question. But if you were going to be in a Star Wars show, if you're going to be in a Star Wars show, would you want your face to be recognizable, or would you want to go full on alien makeup? That's an important question for fans to answer. You have to have an opinion on that. So yeah, I'm anxious to hear. I am not allergic to peanuts. City Park Grill, that's where we went. Thank you, Kevin. That's where we went the other day, and where I dragged Scott Heinemeyer back to 2 days later. Great burgers. If you're in St. Louis or ever in St. Louis and want to check it out, then go there. It's seriously, I thought I'd had great cheeseburgers when I went to the Golden Hoosier. And what's that other place? Shake Shack. Shake Shack has great burgers, but none of them compare to this place. If you're asking if I want to go to City Park Grill, Kevin, the answer to that question is always yes. I will always go with you to City Park Grill whenever you're ready. All you have to do is say when, and I'll drop whatever I'm doing and go. Stormtrooper Warrior, don't miss my target. That's asking too much, apparently. I have such strong feelings about the Stormtroopers missing everything joke. Should I get into that? Because they don't. They obviously don't. And I'm really bothered by the fact that no one ever says anything about this in any other franchise except in Star Wars. And I don't understand that. I just don't get it, because the fact is that the only way to get people to stop complaining about that, or joking about it, I guess it's not really complaining, but joking about that, is if they would actually hit their targets, which in the movies are always the heroes of the saga. Always. So what you're basically saying when you joke about stormtroopers never hitting anything is, God, I wish they'd just kill a good guy. And I'm like, but then the movie would have ended completely differently, and they might have even, the bad guys might have even won. What are you doing, wishing for a negative outcome? No, they hit things. They just don't hit our heroes. That's it. And that happens in every film. Dirty Harry. Nobody hits Dirty Harry. Nobody jokes about that. The bad guys and how the guys in Dirty Harry are bad shots. You know, yeah. I don't know. A lot of people seem to want cool armor. I'm right there with you. Oh, yeah, I think that's probably asking a lot. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I would love to be able to keep the mask afterwards, but I don't think that's a thing they do. Hey, pup. Hey, welcome back. Did you eat? Did you eat? Piper. Poor Piper. Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. I mean, it's like, do you want to be with or without makeup? Yes. Yes. With or without. Your choice. Fine. Stormtroopers just fire warning shots. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. And again, thank you for breaking me up, because that night that Kevin took me to City Park Grill, I totally wanted to go to another place called the Royale, and he leaned on me really hard to go to City Park Grill instead, and I'm so glad he did, because that broke me out of my Royale comfort zone and gave me an all-new great place to go eat that has amazing whiskey. I had a taste of a $300 bottle of whiskey while I was there that day. It's seriously the best whiskey I've ever had. It was, for those wondering, it's Weller Black Label, the 12-year. It's the stuff that John Wick drinks. In Mando, they do hit them. Yeah, but luckily the hero has Beskar. Okay, that's convenient, right? Yeah. They blasted the sand color pretty decently, too accurate for sand people. Yeah. Exactly. Kevin understands. I mean, it's It's right there in the lore. Obi-Wan Kenobi says it. It's got to be true. From a certain point of view. Oh, that's amazing! Really? That's amazing! They have to have some great stories to tell. I'm sure you were just enthralled. That's amazing. Play paintball. Same thing for airsoft, man. Me and a bunch of the Sideshow team used to do regular airsoft things. There was an airsoft gym very close to Sideshow, like within half a mile. And we'd go there afterwards. Fun fact, the first time I ever played airsoft, I took out the entire opposing team single-handedly. 4 or 5 of them. Yeah. Just bum rushed them. They didn't expect me to... I was still very fast on my feet at that point in my life. I have injuries now that prevent me from running like that, but yeah, that was really good. Fares says, a while back, probably last year, I saw an Unsealed and Revealed episode where you had an Iron Man print framed on the wall where we now see Chadwick. Mind sharing what print that was? Yeah, I don't mind at all. I've got it it's in my bedroom now. I've got a line of those HD aluminum prints from Sideshow. Let's see, Sideshow, Iron Man, HD aluminum art print, and we'll see if it pops up. Oh, it's currently selling for it's the just Google the Iron Man fine art print by Ji Hyung Lee. That's I'll type that name in here for you. Yeah, that's his name. Go check that out. Just put that up on the screen for anybody else who might be interested. Yeah, that's the name of the guy, and it's really, really cool. That's actually the only real Iron Man comic-based Iron Man thing that I have in my whole house. I've had various versions of Iron Man premium formats, statues, whatnot, and the only thing that I've kept has been that and all the 6-scale stuff from Hot Toys, obviously. But I keep waiting for that ideal one. That new Mark III that just dropped, or that they just showed off at Comic-Con, that might be the one that breaks me. That might be the one that gets me to actually finally buy an Iron Man premium format again. And then I can switch out all these X-Men for Avengers, because I do have a lot of those down in the basement. But hey, look at that! Alex Aronowitz is here. Hey, Alex. Yeah, my brother from another Sideshow mother. Yeah. Sideshow there's always somebody from Sideshow in the chats, and I got to keep me in line. Yeah. They filmed Tatooine scenes where my grandparents and mother used to live. Really? That's exciting. Your grandparents and mother used to live in Tunisia? Sorry, just kidding. Maybe they did. Maybe yeah. Terry's gonna take us to the bedroom. Yeah, well, keep asking. Keep asking. You never know. There will be a house tour. When people are asking for a collection room tour, my collection room is my house. There's stuff in the bedroom. There's stuff in the living room. There's stuff in this room. Obviously, this is the bulk of it. And there will soon be stuff in the studio even. I'm trying to kind of crafting something there, but yeah. Kumar. I would love that too. That would be amazing. Don't give Brandy Woods ideas. Now she's going to draw me. She's going to draw me like that. Yeah. I'm sorry, Brandy, you must just get really bored in the middle of the night. If nobody's seen the image that Brandy Woods, the sketch that Brandy Woods just did of me, where I'm holding Stormbreaker in my right hand and I'm all puffed up and I'm just saying, you shall not trespass on New Asgard. And there's a squirrel on my shoulder and an army of squirrels at my feet. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Oh God. Yeah, it's like every time you do something, you outdo yourself. But was the whiskey made in Scotland though? No, it was not made in Scotland. It was a fine Kentucky bourbon, my friend. Maybe I'll send you a bottle of proper Scotch whiskey. I've had quite a few good Scotch whiskeys. I think, although you can never say that I'm prolific with my tasting of Scotch whiskeys. I've only had a handful. I've had Glenmorangie stuff, some good stuff from Glenmorangie. I've had God, what all have I had? Talisker is a distillery that I've dived into a time or two. Macallan, none of the good stuff. Although I did just find a photo that I took when I used to work at this market in Malibu. I'm managing the liquor and wine department, and we had on the shelf just like, do I still have the photo up? No, I closed it out. That's too bad. But it's still available. There we go. Yeah, looking at it right now, you can't see it, but we had a bottle of Macallan 21 year, the triple cask matured. There's a bottle of 18-year-old Macallan there. There's a bottle of 25-year-old Macallan and a bottle of 30-year-old Macallan, as well as Alexander and Murray Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey for $1,000. The 30-year-old, the price tag on that 30-year-old Macallan is $4,200. So yeah, that's something. Single Songwriter would be happy as a scruffy nerf herder pilot. That's the dream. I remember seeing the behind the scenes stuff from Rogue One, where the guy who plays General Merrick, he sits down in the cockpit of the X-wing for his scenes and for piloting his X-wing, and he just starts giggling like a schoolboy, and I'm like, I see you, brother. I totally see you. That would so be me if I ever sat down in full get up in an X-wing cockpit ready for filming. I would just die. Ugh. Yeah. Jeez, I'm missing a lot of comments here. Sorry, guys. Christopher Cole digging the Sea Shepherd shirt. Yeah, me too. It's a bit big. I sleep in it. That's right. I crawled out of bed, threw some sea salt spray in my hair, and went live, basically. Yeah. We are always watching We Are Legion. Who's we? Are you? You're not Sideshow, are you, Doc? This wouldn't surprise me. I don't know everybody at Sideshow anymore. Yeah, the Iron Print is sold out, but there's one available on eBay for $300. It took me a while to pop that up. Alex Aronowitz is half Arab. I didn't know that. Okay. That's fantastic. Have you ever been back to see it? Perez, have you seen the quarter scale Mark 85 coming from Queen Studios? I have not. Is Queen Studios legit? Do they have the license for Marvel? I think that they started out. Kevin says, I love hanging out with Terry in person. It's like his own personal live stream. That's probably true. Because the thing about when I hang out with Kevin or with Scott or anybody is I get to be a little bit unfiltered. I mean, obviously I'm still bound by NDA stuff, and I obviously adhere to that, but I get to drop more F-bombs. Oh, that reminds me, Brandy, I need to get that. I need to order that mug, the F-bomb mug. But I'm just so enamored with this one by Newt that yeah, it holds a lot of coffee, which apparently I need. Get to it, Brandy Woods. Yeah, Alex is descended from Tatooine natives. I'm excited about that as well. Yeah. Yeah, Kevin has seen Brandy Woods' drawing of me. I should, you know what I should do is I should like print it. I should print it out. Nah, I would have to hook up the printer and all that good stuff. It's currently not connected. And stop giving her ideas, everyone. Stop giving her ideas. I thought Dob was calling Brandy an insta-twit. I'm like, ooh, that's rude. Rude. Yes. Follow Brandy Woods at brandywoods.art on Instagram. Fine talent. Brandy, he said thank you. Didn't say thank you, Sai, but he did say thank you. That could be more Scottish than Gilead. Kokodai says he loves the Return of the Jedi look of Boba Fett the most. I used to as well, dude. If only because I liked the modifications that they did to his EE-17. Do I have to return my geek card? Did I just fuck up on Boba's blaster? Hope not. But I used to love that look, and I'm currently enamored with his Book of Boba Fett look, and even the Mandalorian look. I just love. There was always something about the original Boba Fett costume that just didn't jive with me from the color palette was it. Excuse me, I'm getting burpy from my coffee. I think the color palette was it. And I think that once they added those dark browns underneath that armor instead of those pale cool grays, that it really gave it that extra push, and that's really what brought it home for me. Plus that bandolier of just bullets around his belt. It's just such a cool look. But yeah, before that came along, I was right there with you. Just gonna keep letting people talk about Brandy Wood's art because it deserves to be talked about. I just want to be clear on that. Oh, wow, Jesus, comments are getting away from me. I agree that I need to try some Japanese single malts. I want to say that I've had one, and I can't remember what it was. Fun fact, Owen Wilson used to keep coming into that shop that I worked at, semi-regular basis, like once a month or so. And it would always be the same scenario. I'd walk back into the wine and liquor area, and he'd be standing there at the case that I just described with the Macallan, the $4,200 bottle of Macallan 30. And he'd just be like sitting there like, just staring. And I'd walk up and I'd be like, kind of, hey, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, you got any hibiki? Like, every single time, and he was looking for this type of hibiki that we couldn't get anymore, and every time I had to explain it to him, yeah, that's completely out of our reach. We're never going to be able to acquire that because I think it was done. I think they weren't making it anymore or something. But we kept trying, but it never came out. Single songwriter, yeah, that would be fun. Anyway. Yeah, this was a sad thing. I didn't come here to talk about work, but I will take time to acknowledge that Paul Hernandez is leaving Sideshow for the warmer climes of Dallas, Texas, where he will be working remotely. One assumes for Blizzard. He's going to be handling stuff for Diablo and for Overwatch. And one other property, I think. But yeah, he's got he's going to be doing some cool things. I'm really, really happy for him. We are, of course, going to be very, very sorry to see him go because he's got a presence. He's a much better host than I am. It just has a way of. I mean, I'm showing you why right now. I just have a tendency to interrupt myself and whatnot. And but yeah, it's I'll be sorry to see Paul go. The team will definitely miss him because he wore a lot of hats, and he helped out the people there a lot. So it's going to be tough to watch him go. Interested to see where the team is going to go from here, but we'll all find out together. Queen Studios is indeed licensed, and they've entered the 1/6 scale market with that's very true. I've seen that in Arts Line. That's interesting. I didn't know that's what it was called. Aren't we all just twits? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. Looks like Brandy Woods is getting some followers. That's cool. I just want another shot at Bosk. That took a long time for those to get here. Hang on. I'm going to show you guys something cool. Just realized that not everybody follows me on Facebook, so there are certain people who have not seen this stuff. But I was sharing in a messenger conversation with Brandy that I had to. I was on deadline with something for Sideshow, and I got up and I got everything ready to go, and was ready to start shooting, and I gotten in there and my batteries weren't charged. I completely forgot to charge the batteries for like one of the cameras and for the microphones. I was like, oh God, of course this happened. So Brandy straight up drew this sketch. Here we go. Right? Isn't that awesome? Yeah. That's Tony Stark having my issues, and he's even wearing the tank top that I have that I just put into storage, by the way, because it's I'm not going to be wearing a tank top anytime soon. And then after my incident with the squirrel, the baby squirrel, she did this. That's Dobby running with a squirrel mounted on his back, wielding a toothpick sword into battle. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. That's great. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Brandy, I might take you up on that. Yeah. Always happy to support a friend's art. Alex, all right, this is cold. This is some cold shit. I'm thrilled Paul's leaving. I'm going to take his parking spot, even though I'm not in California. I just want to take a spot that no one can use. That's brilliant, dude. That's well played. Too much green with the getting back to Boba Fett. Too much green with the Empire Strikes Back version. Return of the Jedi version was my favorite until his armor with all the Sarlacc acid burns. Yeah, that's really, really cool. That's the one I'm looking at right now. It's very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the black. I'm looking. I keep looking back and forth. I'm looking over at the figure right now. I'm pretty sure that the it's not black, at least in the Mandalorian. But I'd have to get a closer look at the figure for the Book of Boba Fett. It might indeed be black underneath the armor in the Book of Boba Fett. But it's definitely a really dark brown here. Yeah, it's just not quite black. It's just not quite there. Yeah, indeed, Owen Wilson. Yeah, that was that job was a cornucopia of like a daily cameo is what I called it, the daily cameo. Owen Wilson, Pierce Brosnan, John Lydon, aka Johnny Rotten. It's just like every day, somebody new and exciting would come in. I totally misgendered Caitlyn Jenner. While I was talking to her, she said something really funny and snarky, and I laughed, and I went, "Attaboy, attaboy," and turned around and just walked away, just face beat red. I was so ashamed, but she was very gracious. She realized that I'd embarrassed myself when I said it, and just was very gracious to me afterwards. So that was very cool of her. I am indeed on Twitter. It's at Terry35mm, but I don't post much. You might click on my likes tab and find some things that I liked, but you won't see me posting there very much. I do enjoy Twitter more and more. I just kind of like go there to just follow certain people and find out what they're talking about. I think some of the smartest people on social media are existing on Twitter, but also some of the dumbest people. Yeah, the opposite is also true. But you can. The thing about Twitter is you can be more selective with who you follow, and it doesn't seem like they're throwing you all sorts of crap that you're not really interested in just based on some algorithm that doesn't really work. Anyway. Ratatosk. What's Ratatosk? I'm going to have to Google that later. Hang on, let me make a note. Just got all these hands laying around. Look at this. This is like the desk of a 6-scale collector. Just like stuff everywhere. Oh, God, that's no good. Those are the legs of Iron Man's boots. Take off your boots when you come into my house, Iron Man. Kick off those muddy boots. Get your freaking repulsor goo all over it. It's not cool. Just randomly clicking on comments now. I'll take everything of his just so no one else can use it. Brutal. You know he's not watching this, right? Okay. Be a shame that's a shame because he would love this stuff. Just happen to have goofy art inspiration. I will happily supply you with that. Hey, Lynn Kramer's back. That just means that, man, how long were you gone? How long have we been on? An hour and a half. This is way too long. I've got too many things to do today. Doc Schmizzle raises a good point. You should totally take Paul's name, Alex. If you're going to take everything, you should also take his name. Yeah. Alex Dollars. We're going to do Alex Dollars now. Hey. That's a very personal decision, my friend. Good luck. Good luck. Kevin agrees, mostly dumber. I agree with Kevin, mostly dumber. Yeah. But if you're selective, then you can find some really interesting conversations to be had. I'm loving, like, a lot of the comic book writers. I'm loving following a lot of the comic book writers. Just by way of example. Where's my Twitter? There we go. The first thing that pops up on Twitter for me is a photograph of Rahul Kohli next to a photo of what's his name? Superman. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, where was I? I was doing something here. Again, I'm horrible with names, everybody. For those of you who aren't aware of it, I'm just legitimately the worst. Kelly Thompson, I love following on Twitter. There's another former Ms. Marvel writer. Oh, Francesco Francavilla is very fun to follow as well. There's a page called Graphic Policy that has some pretty cool shit. Kelly Sue DeConnick, she's a lot of fun. Yeah. Did I say that one already? I probably said that one already. George Takei, obviously. G. Willow Wilson is also one of my faves. She's the woman who redefined Ms. Marvel, who helped create that character from the Ms. Marvel TV show for comic books, and yeah, she's a lot of fun. But yeah, a lot of the female comic book writers are fun to follow on Twitter, because you get some different perspectives on things, and of course they get a lot of hate from those trolls that I love to troll. But yeah, it's they're fun to follow. Is that, Alex, is that good or bad reactions to the Queen? It's because I haven't really been paying attention to that. And oh, Ratatosk is the squirrel that hangs out on the branches of Yggdrasil. That's interesting. I didn't know about that. Obviously, there's so many people out there who've done deeper dives into Norse mythology than I have. Brandy Woods is one of them, for example. Sam, super producer Sam, very well versed in Norse mythology. It is a passion of his, and I really look forward to actually being able to sit down with him and talk about it and pick his brain about it a little bit. I've got books, but I just don't take the time to read. This is funny. Is this true? Told my corgi about the Queen. He barked for like 5 minutes. He had a lot to say. Are corgis as talkative as like, say, huskies? I know huskies are really talkative. They do have a lot to say. Oh, that's funny. That's really, really funny. Anyway, yeah, I should probably 10:37. I've got about 8 hours worth of work to do today, so I should probably get started on that. I'm finding more often that I enjoy doing my work in the evenings, for a multitude of reasons. It's much nicer in the mornings to take the dogs for walks, and I get a lot more done around the house during the day. But it's sometimes I'll clock in at like 1 in the afternoon or 2, and just do my work until like 9 at night. It's but that actually works a lot better for me. Doc, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I actually feel like we had a pretty good crowd today for like a last minute thing like this. Oh yeah, I did see something akin to this. I'll just talk about this briefly before we go. But yeah, it's the thing that got to me is there have been citizens of England who've expressed bafflement with it, and sometimes even disdain. And I'm like, of all the different reactions you could have to a citizen from another land expressing sorrow at the passing of your monarch, I feel like disdain needs to be at the bottom of that list. Seriously, it's a shame. It's a shame that that's somebody's knee-jerk reaction to that. But the fact is that Liz was something special and historic. And I feel like she had a great attitude. I would love to have met her and just had that experience, because I feel like anybody who's had that pleasure has had nothing but good things to say about the experience. Might be one or two exceptions, but those shall remain nameless. She seems like she'd be so snarky, like she would have been so snarky, in that good way, just like really witty. You're welcome. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, she's a person, Dob. She's very much a person. Yeah, human being. And flawed. You know, I'm sure that she had flaws. And I mean, I know I do. Christ, I keep working on my. I'm a work in progress daily. At least I'm aware of most of them. Yeah, and able to be upfront about it. Someday, maybe I'll even share some. Yeah. Anyway, much as I hate to do it, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream because I am actually getting kind of hungry, if you can believe it. So you all have a great week. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Tuesday when we unbox a couple of figures from Game of Thrones on Unsealed and Revealed. I think it's going to be Arya Stark and the Hound. Yeah, the later version of the Hound. So it's good to see everybody today, and hope you all have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.